You might be ready to sell your house. Maybe you're in the process of downsizing, or maybe you need to move to another destination. And so you're wondering, what renovations should I undertake in the house in order to maximize the purchase price, right, from the buyer? What renovations are worth it to do in the market situation that you're in? First off, you have to find out whether you're in a seller's market or in a buyer's market, or whether the market is just much more of a balanced market, because that's really going to help you determine how much effort you need to put into your renovation. And I'm just going to give you an example. Let's just say we're back in 2021 when there were just so many buyers for one home. Literally, as soon as a home went on the market, offers were pouring in. In that case, it probably isn't necessary to really put a lot of effort behind your renovations. Now, let's fast forward to today's world. I'm actually in Sarasota, Florida, and I would say right now it's much more of a balanced market. There's still enough buyers for the number of homes that are on the market, but homes are sitting longer. As a matter of fact, they're kind of sitting on the market almost as closely as they were in 2019. The market over the last year and a half has definitely normalized. And so if you really want to make an impression with the buyer, you're going to want to put some effort into ensuring that your house looks a certain way, that it's appealing, that buyers don't think, well, I'm going to have to put a lot of money into this in order to make up mine, unless of course it's being sold as a fixer-upper, and then the price for the home has to reflect it. But in this case, and for this video, we're assuming that the home you're selling isn't in the stage of having to completely be remodeled, but rather you're trying to determine what changes you can make in the home, what renovations you can put your money in now in order to ensure that the home sells faster and for more without having to pour too much money into it. The very first thing you're going to want to do is to make sure that the curb appeal has been maximized for the house. And I don't mean get a landscaper, spend tens of thousands of dollars to beautify the entrance and maybe your backyard, but I'm really talking about just making sure it's clean, that if you have a walkway that's been cleaned as well, you're going to want to put some mulch up. There's certain fixes you can make without breaking the bank account, but also ensuring that the people who are walking into your house, that the first impression is there. Because if a house is not clean, if it's not been painted for 30 years, the boardwalk is really dirty, the lawn hasn't been mowed in weeks.
What do you think a potential buyer is going to think?
Buyers are going to think, well, if the seller hasn't really taken care of the outside of the house, right? What about the inside of the house? There's probably going to be a lot of maintenance issues. And so that's going to negatively affect the perception a buyer has of the value of the home, and you're trying to, in essence, make sure that the buyer sees the home in a much higher value. And so first thing, yes, absolutely make sure that your front entrance looks nice. Painting the interior of the house can instantaneously refresh the look of the house. And if the house outside is really run down because maybe it's been not cleaned or hasn't been painted in decades, that is also a really good opportunity to spend your money. That is definitely an area that is going to help you sell the house, and you may recoup quite a bit of money back when selling your house in the sales price, because again, if the house looks like it's been treated well, that is really going to help the buyer see themselves living in that home. And so painting can do wonders. The central piece of the house is really the kitchen, right? I mean, that's typically where a lot of us will cook in, and family and friends typically will hang around the kitchen. The kitchen can be impactful, even if it's not completely renovated, by updating the appliances. If it's not stainless steel, put stainless steel appliances in there. Upgrade the hardware. If there's no quartz or granite countertop, you might want to do that. And sometimes just refacing the cabinets can do wonders. So I wouldn't completely rehaul the kitchen because you're going to be selling it, but you do want the kitchen to look inviting enough. You want it to make a good impression in the eye of a buyer. And so I think smaller types of upgrades in the kitchen can go a long way. Now, besides the kitchen, bathrooms. Yet again, you want the bathrooms to look inviting, you want it to look clean, and so you can make, just like in the kitchen, some smaller types of upgrades, such as upgrading the hardware, maybe resurfacing the cabinets. Might be inexpensive, it may go a long way. So talk to your real estate agent and determine what upgrades make sense based on the neighborhood that you live in. Flooring. So I actually think that if you have carpet inside of the house, carpet is really dirty. If you live in Florida especially, so this is going to be contingent also upon where you live in the United States, but in Florida, what's really popular to have is either luxury vinyl, maybe vinyl or tile, whether it's ceramic or porcelain tiles. Consider getting rid of your carpet and tiling it, or maybe putting vinyl on it, whether it's luxury or just regular vinyl, depending on what price point you're dealing with in the home. But that is going to make a huge difference. I think flooring is one of the most important pieces to renovate in a house, besides of course the kitchen and the bathroom. So we talked about how changing light fixtures in the kitchen and the bathroom can go a long way. That really goes for the entire house. So just walking through the entire house and replacing outdated light fixtures, for example, faucets, cabinet hardware. If you're purchasing it, say on Amazon or Lowe's, it might actually not break your bank account, but it will make a huge difference. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great way to refresh your house. I think it's really smart also to get a home inspector to walk through the house, let you know what needs to be fixed, right? That gives you an opportunity to fix things inside of the house that probably is going to come up during the home inspection process anyways when you're under contract. And so that could possibly avoid a lot of issues before you even go under contract. And it's something that you can actually promote. It'll make the buyer more confident in wanting to put an offer in the home, knowing that all these repair issues have already been taken care of. And you know what? Say it costs you $5,000 to repair the things that came out of the inspection issue. You just up your listing price, as long as it makes sense market condition wise. But yeah, you could always try to recoup that money by increasing your list price. Now the only caveat is if you're calling your own home inspector and they find something, let's just say you had termites issues, you didn't know, but they find it. Well, now it needs to be disclosed when selling your house. The way I look at it is, if you hadn't sent the home inspector to inspect your house, yes, you might have not known about the termites issue, but the buyer's home inspector, more likely than not, the buyer's going to get a home inspection, especially these days, it's not 2021 anymore. That home inspector would have found the termite issue, right? And that would have weighed into the whole sales deal anyways. And this way you can disclose it, but also showcase that it's been fixed, because more likely than not, if it comes up during the buyer's home inspection, they're going to either drop out of the deal altogether or possibly ask that you rectify the situation. Definitely recommend that you sit down with your real estate agent and gauge their feedback, because they're going to provide you with a good idea of what buyers in that local market are really wanting to see, and that's going to help you determine where to spend your money in. Because again, the idea here is to make your home look appealing enough so that you're able to achieve the price point that you can, assuming it's a fair value price point for that neighborhood. But also, you don't want to break the bank account. You don't want to put your money into places that you're just not ever going to see that money come back to you in the form of an offer price. Best person to help you make those decisions is getting a listing agent to walking through the home before it's actually on the market, and having him or her provide you with that feedback. Thank you so much for tuning in today, watching this video. I really appreciate it. Now, if you're somebody that's looking to sell your home in the Sarasota County, Manatee County region, I would love to partner up with you. Call me, email me anytime, and I'd be happy to come and meet you, see your house, provide feedback, and also elaborate to you how I can provide value, how I can help you in marketing your home. And as a former marketing executive, digital marketing is in my wheelhouse. I have 2 YouTube channels that are growing. I've got other social media platforms where we can distribute information about your home, providing your house with more exposure. I'd love to talk to you about it. Thank you again, and take care.